Hey YouTube, this is Maverick. How's everybody doing out there today? This is July 14th, 2016, and this is my second update to the old barn slash shed slash shop renovation that's going on. And again, I haven't updated or I haven't posted the initial two videos yet. Again, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but I just wanted to go ahead and record this update before we make more progress on it and go from there. It's as it says, July 14th now. We worked on it. We had a couple more days to work on it. I've been busy here lately, so I haven't been able to work on it as much. But here's where we're at now. As you can see, the wall is completely gone. The trees that were in the way are gone. There's some of the barn board there. And we've taken out the floor to the loft here. And if I can zoom in for a minute. Speaking of the barn board, this is an old footer board for one of the walls here, and it is a big timber, big heavy timber. Now granted, this side here, it's closest to me, has some rod in it, so it had to be cut off to be reused. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. I know people buy these things, but I'm not really. Don't really want to sell it or any of the other barn board. I'd like to reuse as much as I can of it. A lot of it's rotted anyway and wouldn't be worth anything to anybody. But some of it has rot on one end or the other. It could be cut off and reused or whatever. And I plan on reusing as much of it as I can. And the rest of it putting up for until I can find a use for it. Like, for example, this here, this would make a good mantle top, but again, I don't need that right now. I don't need a mantle at this moment, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll find something. Anyway, let's see here. Try to point out some of the more interesting things we found. Now, this is dirty again. Here we had it all cleaned out. We're going to come back and clean it out again because of everything that came down from upstairs. We didn't do a good job of cleaning that loft out before we took the floors up. Here's some more of those valve springs I think I showed you in the first video. I found all 16. Not that it really matters, because I believe they were new when they were put up, but they've obviously, that's been close to, I don't know, probably close to 20 years ago, or 15 at least. So, they've rusted and whatnot. I'll probably find some way to repurpose those for something. Found let's see if I can get it all in. Found an old hand drill. It was actually on the shelf that was on this wall here, and it had been there all that time. I'd looked at that shelf and looked at it time and time again, never saw it until we started cleaning stuff off the shelf. And there it was, either behind or underneath something. I don't remember, but so that was interesting. I'll probably hang it up somewhere in the shop when I get done. And I found this. This is a 15/16 socket. It looks like it's a 1-inch drive. I don't know who around here had a 1-inch drive. It's pretty big and old, but that's pretty cool. Now, I only found one of those. No other sockets like that. Let's see. Found some old newspapers. Most of them are from the 80s. Along with this, that's what I thought was kind of funny or interesting, however you want to look at it. There's an old Kmart ad from the 80s, obviously. If that doesn't scream 80s to you, I don't know what does. And apparently it was around Father's Day one year. A lot of old books, just old westerns and stuff. Nothing really stands out too much. Found some old, this is one of them, yeah. Old Quaker State. You can't really tell, don't really say, but you can see the Q there. And I'm pretty sure this is Quaker State. But the labels are all gone. But it's still got oil in it. I found a couple like that that still have oil in them. Of course they're plastic, so they're not terribly old, but they are pretty old. And I'm pretty sure, like, as I say, besides the Q that you can see here and here, I'm pretty sure it's Quaker State too, because that's what my grandfather used to use in I guess just about everything. His truck, the farm equipment, whatever, I do remember seeing a good bit of Quaker State around here when I was younger. I don't personally use it, but I don't know enough about it really. I've never used it, so I don't have a real opinion on it. But let's see, what else? Old mirror. Looks like an old truck mirror, probably off of a. I mean, it looks a lot like an old Ford mirror, but I could be wrong. A lot of the older truck mirrors look pretty similar. Let's see. Old auto light, spark plug, wrapper, if you will. A little plastic. We all know the little plastic cardboard cubes they come in. Like I said, wrapper, if you will. This is auto light. Is it 24? Let's see. Yeah, looks like auto light 24. A lot of the stuff that were under some of the shelves were pretty well preserved for what they were. Like I said, that's old. I don't know how old it is, but it's not. Nobody's changed spark plugs or done anything like that in this shed. And there's no reason for it to be here in any recent years. So it's been there a while, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how long. But a lot of things that were under some of these shelves here were actually pretty well preserved. Let's see. There's some more of the lumber. I think I've shown that before. I think that's about all there is to show right now that I can remember off the top of my head. Like I said, I've been busy, haven't been up here working as much, and so it's been a few days since we worked on it last. As I found, you know, all the curiosities, you know. But I don't know if you can read this, but I believe this was angel hair pasta can. And you know, I've said before, my grandfather kind of kept everything, and one of the ways he kept the smaller stuff, you know, small nuts and bolts and screws and nails or whatever, he'd put them in old cans. So I'm sure that's why that's down here. You'll see that a lot actually around here. For example, perfect example. This old Danish wedding cookie tin full of random nuts, bolts, parts, etc. Well, here's a look at this. I just now found this. It's a Quaker State with the label still on it, and got a little bit of oil still in the bottom of it. Now, who wants to come use this now? Give you a free oil change. If I even had enough to do an oil change. I think I found about 3 quarts worth so far. Let's see. Of course, there's no shop vac that came from upstairs. What else? Yeah, I think somebody may be here, so I'm going to cut this short for the moment, and I'll either update this next time there's an update, or I'll start this again and continue where we left off in a minute. Until next time. Sorry about that. There wasn't anybody here. I just I thought I heard something, and then I was looking through the trees, and I was seeing one of my old parts cars, and I thought it was somebody that had come up to the house here, the old farmhouse. If you can see it from here. But anyway, I apologize for the interruption, and I'll edit this video into the last one before I post it probably. But and I know I said in other videos I don't edit, but you know, I think this kind of calls for it. But anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. Yeah, there's just all kinds of cool stuff up here. If I had the key, I'd take you through here, but I don't have it with me right now. And again, there's not much new to see other than what you can see from down here, that the floor of the loft is gone. And now that you can see the floor joists more clearly, we're going to take these last 3 capture here in this shot. They've got some rot, especially on the ends. We're going to take them out. I think we're going to replace them with 6x6s. We measured it out, and 12 foot 6x6s should you know, go far enough. I think the length of these comes out to 11 foot something. 11 foot, just a little over 11 foot, 11 foot 2 inches or something. I don't remember exactly. And so 12 foot 6x6 should, you know, span that just fine. And you know, we were concerned that it, you know, if these were longer than 12 feet, we'd have to go with 16-foot 6x6s, and you know, if you're familiar with the price difference in lumber, that would have been you know, quite a bit more. So we got kind of lucky there. I will have to have 16-foot, at least one 16-foot 6x6 for other things, but for this, for these three, 12-foot should do. I had to rebuild this wall up here. It's collapsing down. It doesn't meet right with the downstairs wall. It's come out cocked sideways, or kicked sideways, however you want to say it. As I said, we're going to tear this wall out, but we rebuild it. Another thing, well, before I go around the building, show these temporary supports, these 4x4 temporary supports again, and to speak to the craftsmanship of them, at least. And like I said, I owe this to my friend, because granted, you know, he's done this stuff before, I haven't, but I mean, I see the logic behind it, and I guess I probably could have figured it out, but I wasn't the one who said to do this, so I'll give credit to my friend. But you know, these have held up great for temporary supports. They're very solid. We had a pretty bad storm a week or two ago. Not 2 weeks, probably about a week ago, I guess. Had a pretty bad storm. And this is before we even put that 2x4 support beam connecting them all. And then there's a 1x1 here on the end for connecting the last two. We ran out of 2x4. But anyway, this is before we even put that in. We had a bad storm, and had about 60+ mile-an-hour winds, and actually knocked a big tree down up at the old farmhouse there. But you know, I was, you know, kind of concerned about how this would hold up, but it held up just fine. And this was after the wall was taken out, so there's nothing blocking the wind coming in here, you know. But you know, of course, in a way, that's not that the wall was structural at that point anymore. So if it had knocked the wall down, it would have made a difference. But I guess that, you know, physics, you would figure that this flow through design, the way it is now, would help with the wind, as opposed to, say, a solid wall that the wind would be blowing against, if that makes sense. The way I worded it there, just trying to say it quickly. Anyway, I want to show one last thing. On this video, there's some old jars and jugs we found, but through here, now like I said before, the property line is right through here, so or right on the other side of all this here. Let's see if I can get through here without getting snake bit. But what I'm wanting to do is where this wall here comes out, and this wall here goes in this direction. I'd like to connect, bring both walls out to meet, either at an angle or square them or some form. Now granted, I'm not going to put a roof over this. I'm just going to, in essence, build a fence connecting these two walls. Just for privacy's sake, and keep, just keep things, I don't know, or I could pull a car all the way up here, and my neighbor wouldn't have to see it. Yeah, and granted, like I said, it would be out in the weather, but you know, it depends on what car it is or what condition, if it's a parts car or whatever. I mean, you know, it don't really matter sometimes. So that's another idea I've had since I showed you that part of the shed last. So I think that's just about everything, and it should be, because this is getting a little bit long between the video I shot once I spliced these two videos together. But anyhow, I think, like I said, I think this is about everything I was wanting to show. I guess I could show you that heavy beam, give you a better shot of it. Let's see, here's the rotten end. You can see the rod in it. And that's not, this end's not going to be good for anything, but you can cut that off. But then as you go down it, it seems to get sturdier. Yeah, I've got a tow strap around. I was going to pull it out with the truck, but because it's heavy. Don't let it fool you, it's heavy. But I was going to pull it out with the truck, but my friend and I were able to pull it out on our own, so that's just as well. And here's a closer look at some of the barn board. You can see it used to be painted red, and that's probably, I'm probably going to go back with something like that, I think. At least on part of the building. It just depends. But I haven't really started shopping around colors or anything like that yet. Here's a good shot from a distance. And so yeah, I think that about covers everything for this update. And we'll, like I said the last time, hopefully I'll have more updates coming soon. I'm still in the midst of a few things right now, so I'm still kind of busy. But I should be free again soon, and hopefully my friend will be free, and we can get back up here and start tearing some stuff up and rebuilding some stuff. But anyway, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, this is Maverick.